Hello. It's a bit better. How are we? Hi, Helen. So we've got two. Who else is here? Come and say hi. Feel free. That's it. Oh, that's a bit better. Ooh. On to three now. Hello, everyone. How are you today? So we're going to do a bit of Greek cooking today. Okay. So Helen, are you all ready? You all set? How's your chicken coming along? So we're going to give it a couple of minutes, Helen. All right, same as usual. So relax, get ready, and you're going to need frying pan. Got a bowl for your chicken. Okay. Today I'm going to also show you how to use one of these, which is a mortar and pestle. I used to use these before we had food processors, really. So we're going to wait a couple of minutes, Helen. We're going to give it till 1:15, okay? Because hopefully we've got a couple from the college coming. We'll line all this up ready. Back a bit. Okay, I've got another person here. Lovely. Okay. There we are. So I've got ingredients. A bit more. Forward a bit more. There we go. Oh, nice and set. Let's see. Okay, can you see everything? So you're going to need your lemon juicer again. Garlic crusher if you want to. Okay, or a knife. Right, so we've got a couple of minutes. So when I do meat prep, I sometimes use these gloves. They're quite good. They save your hands getting all sticky and cross-contamination. Then you can just take them off. They go straight in the bin. Job done. And you will see today, as we're prepping food, I know that we haven't got red boards, green boards, etc. But I use this for veg prep. And then I've got another board over there that I use for my meat prep. So that goes through the dishwasher, it's sanitized and everything. So we're all ready, all nice and clean and tidy. Okay, so one more minute and then we'll make a move. Okay, so if you've just come on, the ingredients are below in the description. Have a look in there. That will tell you what ingredients we're going to use today. I'm going to go through the ingredients now. As soon as we hit 2:15. So we've got about 15 seconds and then we'll kick off. Okay? Okay, so welcome. Today we're going to make chicken souvlaki, okay, which is a Greek dish. Basically, they're like Greek skewers, okay, and these go back to Roman times, etc., or ancient Greeks, and they had the I think it's pronounced souv, and that means on a spit. So basically, on a stick, and you had gyros or gyro. I always think so. Something turning around. So you know that doner kebab that you see turning around. So you had those in ancient times. So that's where this dish comes from. Okay. So we're using chicken for this. Obviously, you can use any meat or vegetable. You know, the marinade that we're doing is a traditional Greek one. Okay. But with what we did last week, we did peri-peri chicken. So these you can all use on the barbecue. So this is getting you ready for summer when you're doing those barbecues. Yeah. And always remember with the barbecues, just make sure everything's cooked. All right. If you want to cook it in the oven first and then just give it a little warm up again and just get some smoky flavour on it, then that makes it nice and safe, especially if you're doing a lot of people. So we'll go on with the dish. So what have we got in our dish? We've got chicken. I'm using chicken thighs, and they are boneless and skinless. Okay, you could leave the skins on. That's fine. Might give you a bit of extra crispiness. It's up to you. Probably, if you're doing them on the barbecue, leave the skins on. Then if you do burn them slightly, you can always take the skin off afterwards, and that will protect the meat a little bit. But you can use chicken breast if you like. I prefer chicken thighs. I think they've got a lot more flavour. So we are going to start off with the marinade. We are going to have 6 cloves of garlic. So if you don't like garlic. Then we've got 2 bay leaves. Now I don't know whether you can see those. Okay, so they're like little leaves. They smell of something savoury. Then we have a tablespoon of olive oil. We have a teaspoon of sweet paprika. I'm using smoked today because that's what I've got. I've got 1 tablespoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of dried rosemary. Feel free to use fresh if you want to. And a teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of pepper. And I've got my skewers. Now these were longer ones. I've just cut in half because they won't fit in my frying pan. So you can do them any size. Okay, and 1 lemon. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off. I'm going to mix all those dried herbs, and then that just gets all of that out of the way. So we're going to mix all the dried herbs, and then our salt and pepper pop into there. Okay, and then we've sort of cleared down, put the oil over there. I'm going to start on the garlic first of all. So out comes my garlic. We're going to put everything into one bowl, okay? So first of all, we're going to peel the garlic in the usual way, as we've done the last few weeks. Okay, so just crush it with a knife. Like I say, you don't need to have a huge knife like this, but it's my favourite knife, so this is the one I use. All right, then we're going to peel that. I'm going to use that as my waste bowl. So I hope everybody is okay today. Feel free to comment at the bottom. Always good to have some feedback. Okay. So there we go. That is all that done. Okay, and today I am going to put it through the garlic crusher. So I've got one of these fancy little garlic crushers. So you put the garlic in there. And the good thing is if you leave any skin on it, it takes it off as well. Okay, crush it through there. And then you either take it off with a knife, or this one is a fancy one, and it just pulls it across and pulls it off. Open it up again. Put some more in there, crush it down. And it goes across. Okay, you can chop this if you need to. Okay, so that's it. That's all done. All right. Now, the only problem with these is you do leave quite a bit of the garlic in there. So I will say that's one of the problems with the garlic crushers. But if you find that easier, use that. So our mortar and pestle. So this is used for crushing stuff. So this is quite heavy. They're usually clay. And they will use, so I'm going to put that in there. Then we're going to put our dried herbs in there. And this will help to crush it together. But there's another reason we do use this. Okay, and literally you just push it down. So you might have one at the end of the... And you can use these if you're into your curries or something and you like roasting your own herbs, then these are great. Now what this does, say if you were making some pesto or something, is it gets all the oils out, yeah, all the natural oils. So it breaks them down, brings the oils out, gives you a better flavour, okay? And if some people cook because they want to relieve stress or after a hard day's work. Sometimes people find cooking relaxing, okay? So if you want to do that, then this will up your mindfulness, almost like a bit of meditation doing this. Okay, so you see that's just crushed everything down. I've dropped a bit there. And I'm going to put that into our bowl. So you can use those just to crush the garlic as well. Up to you. Any basil or herbs. So then my bay leaf, I'm just going to chop. So very finely. Now we're doing this straight away. What you can do is you can do the chicken the day beforehand. No, the bay leaves are on there now. Helen, sorry, I didn't see that. Okay, I've just chopped them up. That goes in there as well. You could crush, if your bay leaves, these ones come out of my garden. So if they're the dry ones, they will crush down quite well. So I've got that in there. Then next goes in my 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Now, when you're using marinating oils, you know, really, you can use any oil. If you want to spend loads of money on the oils, one thing, if you're going to heat the oil, don't go putting extra virgin in, because as you heat the oil, all the flavours come out. So the expensive oil, just use for dressing, or maybe a little bit of marinating to infuse the meat, okay? When you fry something, all the flavour comes out the oil, okay? So there's no use putting extra virgin or 20-year-old in the pan, all right? So don't waste your money. Okay, then next we're going to go with our lemon. I'm going to cut that in half and then juice that. Now, if you like lemon and you like the zesty flavour, then you can zest the lemon as well and put that in, okay? It's not in this recipe, but you can if you want to. So there we go. We've juiced that. Then we're going to pour that in with the rest of the marinade. And that is our marinade done. Okay, so have a quick wipe down and I'll meet you back here in about 1 or 2 minutes, okay? Okay, right, are we all okay? We're going to move on to our chicken now. So you're going to need a knife, need your board for it to cut the chicken on, and the chicken. Okay, so I've got my separate board for my chicken now. I'm going to pop my gloves on. Everybody okay? Okay, so that's your marinade. Lovely. Okay, so we have got our 8 chicken thighs here. All we're going to do is I'm going to cut them in half. And then, so in half, right, then you're left with that bit. And then cut them in half again. Okay, and then in they go to the marinade. Okay, and we're going to do that for all of them. So just into nice chunks. You don't want them too small. And sometimes some of the thighs are bigger than the others. So just to see how they are. Sometimes they won't need cutting into. So roughly 1 chicken thigh will do 4 pieces. So 8 by 4 is 32, correct? Okay. All right, so nice and easy. And then keep that bowl once you're done. Okay, so we're going to wash that up. I'm just going to take a spoon and just marinate that. So like I say, you can do this the day beforehand. Obviously, we've got to fit this all in one lesson, so we're not going to do that. But for instance, if you're having this for dinner tonight, then you could leave it to marinate for a good hour. No problem. Random subs. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. I will talk to you tomorrow as well on the webcam. Okay. But lovely that you're here. Well done. Good lad. So we're just doing this. Okay. Have a look. Just see what we're doing, and then we can do this again tomorrow. Okay. I've got all the ingredients in the fridge for you. Okay, so I've just marinated that. So now I've got my skewers, and then all we're going to do is pop those on the skewers. So I reckon roughly about, I've got them that size. So we'll do about 4 pieces on there. You don't want to put them you can put them close together. You don't want to put too much on a skewer, otherwise it will take a little time longer to cook. And what I suggest you do with these is we are going to fry them off, but we will pop them in the oven, okay? So you need to make sure, at least obviously with chicken, that we're at 75 degrees. Okay. So like I say, I'm putting 4 on these. We're just feeding them on. Some of them will obviously go on better than others. I've cut these in half, so only half of them have a point. So can you smell those lovely flavours? And in a couple of weeks, maybe after Easter, we're going to do some fakeaways. We'll probably do them on a Friday night, so you can make them and eat them straight away. Now, there might be a bang on the door because I'm due a parcel. I bet you the dogs are going to bark. Thank you. Cheers, mate. What did I say? Always the way. And it's dog food as well, so that's why they're barking. Okay, so we're getting through these. Obviously, you can do them on bigger skewers, but like I say, they don't fit that well in the frying pan. And what you can do is, once you've skewered them, if you're saving them for maybe the weekend or something, pop them in the freezer and then they're all done. It's all about the preparation. They'll still marinate in there. And it's just about getting things organised. Cooking's very easy, just a stage of a load of processes. And sometimes there is long processes to it, but also there's short processes. And you can make your life easier, especially if you like bulk cook. Okay, so there we are. There is our meat marinated. So Helen, tell me when you're ready, okay? And the idea of using these is so that I don't get meat all over my hands. I'm still going to wash them. That goes straight in. I've not touched that. Okay, my board it's still clear. I'm going to give it another spray just to make sure. Okay, and then I shouldn't really have to touch the raw meat again. Okay, so you're going to cook them later. Right, fine, Helen, that's not a problem. Okay, so, oh yes, for dinner. Mine are for dinner as well. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cook a couple of here so you can see what they're like. All right? So our next stage is to start cooking them. What you're going to need to look out for, okay, is I'll put another video up on YouTube, but I've got some pita breads here that I'm going to do, but it'll take too long to do on this video. So if you keep an eye out for those, there you go. They're Greek pitas, okay? There's a great guy on Instagram called The Athenian, and they're in Box Park in Shoreditch, and they do some fantastic gyros and that. So have a look on those. Tim on there does a load of videos as well. So that's the pita bread recipe. But that's another lesson, all right? Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to fry these off. So you could do them on the char grill. You could do them under the grill. You can do them in the oven. Okay, I'm just going to do these in the pan so you can see them being cooked. So you're going to need a little bit of oil. Like I say, if you're going to use olive oil, don't use your best virgin olive oil, okay? Just a simple salad oil, okay? Or rapeseed, anything like that. You get some good rapeseed from this area. Okay, so I'm going to just cook two, so I'm going to put the rest in the fridge for later. Once I've made, and it's always good to put them in the fridge as well before you cook them, because then they set down and the meat tends to set. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to do the dip after this, so that I can show you that. So what I'm going to do is just pop those in there. Okay, just like that. Okay. And can you hear it sizzling? So you want it to sizzle, you don't want to burn it. Okay, you don't want it on too long. Helen, I reckon about 20 minutes. If you spread them out well, don't bunch them together. I take it you're doing them for about 4 people. Yeah, I reckon about 20-25 minutes, a good 200 degrees, okay? So they're in there, so leave them going. Now, where's my little... I can use this one, I haven't got the proper one. Okay, so just going to press those down. Okay, so we've already, don't put salt and pepper on, we've already put the salt and pepper on. Okay? So you can do these anyway, fry, grill. Okay, won't go in a deep fat fry. Air fryer, don't know. Anybody use an air fryer? I hear they're very good. I'm toying with the idea of getting one because they're fairly healthy, etc. But we'll see. Maybe that's something for Easter or the summer. So we're going to make the tzatziki. Yeah, all right. So tzatziki is like a garlic and yogurt dip. All right. So all we're going to do, we're going to start off Let's get a bowl, shall we? And we're going to use Greek yogurt. Can use any yogurt. Obviously, you don't want to use strawberry or chocolate. Not very nice. Any sort of natural yogurt, the thicker the better. Yeah. So this is some Greek yogurt. So we're going to do 2 tablespoons of that. Okay, nice and thick. Yeah, if you want to use the 0%, feel free. Okay, up to you. I tend to like the full fat. Just because I prefer the taste. So I don't have fat somewhere else and make up for it. Right, so that's been a couple of minutes. So I'm just going to turn these over. All right, and they're just a bit brown on the top. So I'll pop those over. Just so you can see. So that's sort of colour, yeah. Now it's on the second side. I'm going to turn that down. And if you find it's really going too fast, then put a lid on it and then pour just a little bit of water, and that will give you a bit of steam and that will help cook it, but it won't brown it too much. Okay, so we've got 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt in there. Then we've got half a cucumber and 1 clove of garlic. Okay, so don't worry, chaps. You won't be accosted by any vampires after this recipe. So again, crack our garlic, yeah, and then chop it down. You know, as in all these recipes, you know, if you want to use some garlic paste or something, then feel free. You can even get frozen garlic these days. So we take that through there. Just like that. Okay, that comes across. Okay, and then get rid of that. Okay, so put that aside for a minute, and you're going to need a peeler. So we're just going to peel the skin off. Okay, sometimes you don't have to peel it off. I'm just doing it for this recipe. If you prefer to leave it on, that's absolutely fine. Okay. Then we're going to take the seeds out. So we're going to slice that lengthways, just like that. Okay. So the seeds are in the middle, and the easiest way is to get a teaspoon and just scrape down the middle. Okay? Don't put too much pressure on it, otherwise it will break. Okay? And then that all comes off. Okay, I'd normally do this into a bowl, but so you can see a bit better, I've done it on the side. Okay. So these are beginning to cook down now. So I'm just going to put a lid on those because I'm doing them on top of the stove. And it's a great way, and it stops it cooking too quickly. And I'm going to pop a little bit of water in there. When I'm cooking at home, always have a kettle. Okay, now don't pour the water in if you've got it on a very high heat, because otherwise you'll get a face of fat. Okay. So then we don't need any of this. So we're going to get rid of that. All right. Then we're going to take this and just going to slice them as thin as you can. Now, I know I can probably slice thinner than you can, but if you want to grate them, then you can grate them. Okay, it doesn't matter. So this is a bit like a mint raider. that you have with your Indian, but they use a thinner yogurt, and obviously they use some chilies and stuff. So then get some kitchen roll, and then we're just going to dry that out. Now what you can do is you can put some salt on it and leave it for about half an hour, and that takes all the water out. Or, see, I've got 2 lots of kitchen roll there, so it's double. So just push it down, all right, and that should get rid of most of the water. Okay, right, and then I'm going to put that in with my yogurt. So in it goes. And like I was saying with the chicken, marinate it the day beforehand. This can be done the day beforehand as well, or this will last a couple of days in the fridge. So if you're getting stuff ready for the weekend, and you want to relax at the weekend, don't want to do too much prep, all you've got to do, you're looking for things to maybe just pop in the oven, then it's all about planning. So then all you're going to do is just stir that together. And that is your tzatziki. I'll tell you a funny story. While we're waiting for our chicken just to finish off, I used to work with this guy, this chef from Newcastle, and we used to use a lot of this Greek yogurt. There was a Greek brand, and he was the development chef. However, he's got a very strong accent, Newcastle accent. Okay, so I now cannot say tzatziki without sounding like a Geordie. So I have to say tzatziki, man. Okay, so there you go. If I start going into that in the lessons, then you'll know where that one came from. Okay, I'm just going to turn that over again. Okay, so I think these are nearly ready. Okay, we're going to give them a little blast. I'm going to turn them up. Like I say, cooking's all about controlling that heat. Okay, so that's our tzatziki. So we'll get our service plate out. I'm going to crack some cos lettuce on there. Okay. Just like that. Some fresh parsley. Now, while we're putting the parsley on there, parsley is good because if you've eaten a lot of garlic, it helps freshen your breath. Okay, so if you see like a chicken Kiev's got parsley in it. That's why. Okay, so now on goes my tzatziki, and you will put some flatbreads with this. Like I say, I'm going to do some flatbreads later. I just want to make sure I've got the recipe right, to be honest. Can't be doing a video and then they're not turning out, okay? So, we'll turn that off. Okay, leave that for a minute. Now you can probably make this quicker. So this is like a chicken kebab. You can have all this at home. It'll probably make it quicker than it takes you to order it on delivery. And don't forget, you've got to pay another £5 to get it on delivery as well. Okay. Right. I'm going to have a quick check of that. So even after being in there in the trade for about 30 years. Chicken, I always double check just in case. Okay, so it's 75. That's good. Okay. So there we are. 1, 2. So there's our chicken kebabs, or chicken Souvlaki. Souvlaki. Okay. Has anybody got any questions? Yes. Yeah, unless you're doing a steak. Okay. Unless you're doing a beef steak, you could say the same for fish. Yeah, fish. There's different trains of thought with fish. Okay, if you go to Heston Blumenthal's place, sometimes they used to do a fish pie that was only cooked to 45 degrees. I would say if you're cooking at home, 75 degrees. Yeah. With fish, if you get a cocktail stick and put it into the fish, if it goes all the way through without any resistance, it's cooked. Okay. So, but 75, I would say at home, make sure if it's over 63, you're pretty much there. However, 75 will make sure that everything's killed. Obviously, things like chicken, definitely shellfish. Okay. Steaks, if you want a rare steak, you're only talking about 45, 50 degrees. Okay. If you're doing, say, a beef joint at home, say a topside or something like that, then you're still looking about 45, 50 degrees. Okay. All right. I'll be on here for another 10 minutes after I end the stream if you've got any other questions. Okay. All right. So I'll see you soon, or I'll see you tomorrow, Will. Thank you very much.